Your mother bought a car for your use.
That's not correct.
He was there during the agreement that we made.
Who is this?
It's my father. He's my witness.
Good. Stand up, sir. You have no personal first-hand knowledge of anything. Is that correct?
No much, because...
Now you can sit. What did you think he was going to say to me?
This is Judy Justice. Chastity Rubio Cortez is suing her son, Christian Rubio Cortez, for an unpaid car loan, DUI fees, and tires.
Court come to order. All rise.
Have a seat, please.
Judge, case 3130, Rubio Cortez versus Rubio Cortez.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Miss Cortez, this is your son. How old are you?
19.
What do you do for a living?
Currently unemployed. I kind of just drive around and deliver food.
Who is this?
It's my father.
Your father and mother are no longer together, I assume?
No.
Is he a witness for you or just here for support?
Yes, ma'am. He's my witness.
Okay. I'm going to start with you, Mr. Cortez. Your mother bought a car for your use. In what year?
2022.
So at the time you were 17? Is not an answer.
Yes, ma'am.
And what was the arrangement you had with your mother?
We would buy the car and split it half and half.
Explain that to me. You're going to cut the car in half?
The price was $4,000, so I would pay $2,000 and she would pay $2,000.
Did your mother have her own car?
She did.
So what you're saying is she was going to make a gift to you of the other $2,000?
No, ma'am. She was also going to use the car as well.
But she had her own car.
She did.
What kind of car did she have?
She had a Ford Explorer.
And what kind of car did you buy with your mother?
It's a Honda Civic Coupe.
What year?
2008.
And what year is the Explorer?
2018.
So if I were going to choose a car to drive around, I would choose the Ford Explorer rather than the 10-year-older Honda Civic. That's what I would choose. Take a vote here? Take a vote here? Yeah. Okay. Now, this is what the case is about. Your mother said you still owe money on the car. And your claim to me is you paid for half.
Correct.
And that's all you're supposed to pay for.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a pretty good story. Now, how old were you when you got your first ticket with the car?
17.
What'd you get a ticket for?
I was on my way home from work, and I ended up falling asleep.
Fell asleep at the wheel of the car. What kind of work were you doing?
I was working at a fast food restaurant.
For how many hours?
8 to 10.
What time of the day or night did you fall asleep at the wheel?
I would say 6 p.m.
Did you damage the car?
No, ma'am.
What did you hit?
I just closed.
And that was when you had just gotten the car.
Correct.
Now, when did you get your second ticket?
It was in 2023.
What did you get a ticket for?
I got a DUI.
Did you plead guilty to the DUI?
I did.
How much was the fine for the DUI?
$600.
Who paid that?
My mother.
Well, the $600, now you're over the age of 18. $600 is your punishment for driving while drunk or intoxicated with something else. You wouldn't ask somebody to do your jail time for you. You wouldn't say to my mom, I don't like to be in jail. Could you please go for me? You wouldn't say that to her, right?
No.
Well, the $600 is your penalty for breaking the law. Did you pay your mother back?
Yes, ma'am.
The whole $600?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that true?
That's not correct.
Did he pay you anything towards the $600?
Not towards the $600 yet. He's still paying off the car. He still hasn't paid it off. And the first ticket.
Well, the first ticket was when he was 17 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
And as far as I'm concerned, that ticket is on you. Because I wouldn't have let him keep the car for a second after he had the car for a short period of time, drove recklessly, and then fell asleep at the wheel. Somebody had to have reported it. What he said, he was sleeping. Do you understand? Do you know the circumstances of that? Why don't you tell me?
He was coming home from work, and he did end up driving recklessly and like kind of hit an embankment, but didn't total the car or anything.
Well, when did he go to sleep?
While he was driving, I guess. I wasn't there.
Well, that's what I asked him. I'm not getting an answer from him.
Yeah. I mean, he got a ticket for reckless driving, and he fell asleep, so...
You mean he fell asleep first?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I wasn't following this. That he fell asleep at the wheel.
Yes.
As a result of which he drove recklessly, for which he got a ticket.
Yes.
Because he was still driving or in the car moving when he was stopped by the police.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how much are you supposed to pay on the car per week?
$65.
How much in total did you pay on the car?
It was $2,112.
Just on the car? Mm-hmm. And how much did you pay your mother in total?
And then there was another $1,420, and that is for the DUIs and other tickets.
So in total, you're going to show me $35.32 in payments to your mother.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right? Is that what you have? Okay. Listen to me, what I just said to you. That was my question.
Yes, ma'am.
I said you have no first-hand personal knowledge of anything.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you can sit. What'd you think he was going to say?
And later today,
You felt as if she was neglecting them, and you went to the place where she was keeping the horses and took back the 3-month-old.
Yes, Your Honor.
You took the baby back with police.
Yes, we had a civil standby.
I want you to tell me why.
Chastity Rubio Cortez claims her son, Christian Rubio Cortez, owes for an unpaid car loan, DUI fees, and tires.
Now, how much do you have, Miss Cortez, as his total payments to you for everything?
For everything, he has paid on the car $3,235, and he still owes for the DUI fees, the tire rims.
Forget tire rims, forget tires. If you want to pay for his tire rims, that's your business. I don't care if you drive a tire without rims, put nuts and bolts in there. Not when he hasn't paid other tickets. That's on you.
Well, I mean, I was just
He
thinking of
paid
his safety money.
$3,235. Well, not so much different. There's a difference in $300. Now, tell me what your father is going to testify to.
He was there during the agreement that we made.
Good. Stand up, sir. Tell me your last name.
Rubio Cortez.
Mr. Cortez, I want you to think back 2 years when your son was 17. Were you and your wife together at that point?
No.
Where were you when you heard the discussion between your former wife and your son?
I was home,
In whose home?
in my home,
Who lives with you?
my other son.
What was your former wife doing there?
No, I just heard.
Look at me.
Yes, ma'am.
You were home. She wasn't there.
Uh-huh.
So you weren't all in the same house together.
No, my other son, he goes and hang out with them. So that's how I was noticed that they was going to buy another car.
So you don't have no personal first-hand knowledge of anything. Is that correct?
No much because
Not much. Well, that was my question.
Yes, ma'am.
I said you have no first-hand personal knowledge of anything.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you can sit. What'd you think he was going to say? What did you think he was going to say to me? You said he was a witness to the agreement that you made with your mother. How's that?
Because me and my brother have both told him about it. And he was,
Okay, very good. Because you told your father. Was your brother there when you and your mother allegedly made this agreement?
yes, he switched between houses.
Just a second. Where is your brother now?
Not here.
Where is he?
He's at work or home, I guess.
Okay. And so you mind telling me why you brought your father instead of your brother, who you say actually heard this agreement?
Because he couldn't make it.
He couldn't make it because he was home.
He just told me he couldn't make it.
Just a second. Now, you owe your mother $2,600 for the car. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're finished. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This court is adjourned.
We agreed to split it, and she expected me to pay more than what we agreed upon.
Well, because he's not taking responsibility of his actions.
And after that, we got into an argument, and ever since then, we just haven't been on good terms.
He's upset with me right now, but I think it will be okay.
Probably not at the moment going to be talking with her that much, but I'm sure I'll be talking to her again soon.
You know, he could not make a contract with his mother when he was 17.
True.
But because he made payments after he was 18, he ratified that contract. The reason that I didn't give her any money for the first ticket was because once he got that first ticket for reckless driving, I would have taken that car away. I wouldn't have kept it in my name. And the kid, clearly, the young man has an ongoing battle with the truth. The father, however,
He was honest.
Yeah, well, not really.
It almost sounded like he thought he could really be a witness because his other son had told him
You think so?
something.
You believe in humanity, I think, maybe a little more than I do. I think that he just got caught.
That's also possible.
Case 3128, Armstrong versus Rada. All parties, please come forward.
Cherie Armstrong is suing 18-year-old horse trainer Raven Rada for the return of a horse.
You folks are all interested in horses.
Yes.
You have several. How many?
Approximately 30. It changes during foaling season because some of them are born and some of them go to new homes.
What do you use them for?
We raise them and show them. So the stallions are often bred, and then we show the babies and the brood mares along with the stallions, and then sell the babies off to prospective show horse homes.
And how long have you been doing this?
My family has been doing it since I was 8 years old. I personally am doing it since I was about 14. So I'm 30 now, so it's been quite a while.
Okay. What about you? What's your interest in horses?
My interest in horses is a lot based on Mustangs, which I go and adopt Mustangs each year, train them, and sell them during the shows over the summer.
Okay. So this is what the case is about. Miss Armstrong, you sold in October of last year 2 horses to the defendant. A 3-month-old,
Yes.
which you sold to her for $3,000.
Yes.
And a yearling, which I assume is a year old,
Yes, Your Honor.
for $1,000. And it is your claim that you weren't fully paid for the horses. She didn't pay you anything and then at some point sent you $275, she says. But that you felt as if she was neglecting them and you went to the place where she was keeping the horses and took back the 3-month-old. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
When did you take the baby back?
That would be October 23rd.
And when had you made the sale?
That was October 3rd.
So 20 days later, you took the baby back.
Yes, Your Honor. There were a cumulative amount of events. When she took the horses, she was supposed to make a down payment that day. We had the horses loaded in the trailer and I said, okay, how much are you putting down today? And she said, well, I won't have anything until Friday. And this was a Wednesday. And so I said, okay, well, I'm not normally comfortable with letting people take anything off property before it's paid in full, but I've known these guys for well over a decade. And so I thought it would be okay. The horses were loaded and she said, oh, my farrier is going to meet me at home to do their feet because they were a little bit overdue and they kind of needed done. And I was like, well, they're in the trailer. They're going to get their feet done. I guess I can wait for a payment until Friday. Friday didn't come yet because Thursday I got a message that she had put those 3 new horses in a herd of established Mustangs who attacked the yearling, trampled her, and split her leg open.
Just a second.
Yes.
So far, is that correct?
No.
Cherie Armstrong claims 18-year-old horse trainer Raven Rada refuses to return her horse. Raven is countersuing, claiming Cherie wrongfully retrieved one of her horses.
Well, tell me how the yearling got trampled. You don't seem to deny that that happened.
No, she did get trampled.
Okay. So, and she got trampled
Yes.
by what?
A quarter horse. And
That was on your property?
yes.
Your Honor, it's not quite trampled.
Just a second.
Sorry.
And it was bad enough, Miss Rada, that you called the plaintiff.
Yes.
What did you say to her when you called her?
That the quarter horse was able to roll the paint horse and created an injury.
Did you tell her how the horse was
Yes.
injured? What did you tell her about the injury?
That the injury was bad enough where it was bleeding and they would need a vet.
Why did you call her?
Because in her contract, she stated that she would like to know when a horse gets injured. When one of the horses
Oh,
would get
do you have
injured.
a contract?
Yes, I do have.
I'd like to take a look at it. And is it a contract that you signed?
That we both signed.
Good. I'd like to see it.
I'm trying to find it, sir. Here you go.
Your Honor, just wait.
Well, I don't understand the bill of sale. Actually, I understand that it's a nice contract and that it was for $4,000 payment scheduled every what?
It was supposed to be a time frame, but when she came to get the horses, she said, well, I'm not sure on the time frame yet. I can let you know Friday when I give you the money.
Okay, payment, buyer will provide the seller with a down payment of $0.
Yep, because I filled it out with her on Wednesday when she picked them up.
So you filled this out on the 3rd?
Yes.
Well, you were supposed to make your first payment on Friday. What happened?
The vet, when we had the vet come out.
So what?
I went to go save it so I could pay her back for paying the vet bill, and I was never able to do that.
Well, then you defaulted on the contract. When did you make this first alleged payment of $275?
It was October 23rd when she went and got the colt.
Did you give her a check or
A
okay.
check.
May I see it?
Yes.
No, this says it's for the vet bill. Just a minute, did she pay the vet bill for your horse?
Yes.
This isn't payment for any horse. It says clearly vet bill.
We agreed upon at the time of that payment that it would go towards the horse.
Why? Your contract specifically says it does not. And it specifically says vet bill on it. That's what it says. Okay, so let me try to put this in perspective now. Now you retrieved the baby horse.
So when...
Just a second.
I'm sorry.
You went and got the baby horse because you felt as if there was either trouble with the horses or she hadn't paid for them. Either way, she hadn't paid for them. That's the easiest thing that I have to address because she hadn't paid for anything.
Yes.
Now, it's 5 months later. She took back the baby and you kept the yearling. That's a yes or a no, not a sad look. And did you pay for the yearling?
No.
Well, then it's not your horse, right?
Yes.
Then she gets it back. That's what you want, right?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm not 100% sure that the...
Just a minute. You don't have to go into a whole thing. She bought horses. She didn't pay for the horses. She gets them back. That's easy.
Yes.
Right? Okay, fine. How long will it take you to pick up the horse?
We could come as soon as we get home.
So within 5 days?
Yes, Your Honor.
On 24 hours notice. You want to say something?
I do.
Sure. I assume you're her father.
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Okay.
I did place a lien on the horse because I have at least $750 into this horse.
Somebody allowed you to file a lien on the horse?
You may do that in Idaho, ma'am.
What?
Ma'am, I contacted the brand inspector myself, and there cannot be a lien placed on the horse unless I have been served a copy of that lien and the brand inspector has been served a copy on that lien, and there is nothing on record that has the last name Rada or Armstrong anywhere near it.
She's picking up the horse within 5 days. I don't care if you have money in it for vet bills, feed, read the contract. Did you read the contract?
Yes,
Did you
Your
read
Honor.
the contract? All right, the contract is
never signed it.
specifically clear that once the horse leaves her property, the buyer is responsible for all vets, feed, care, shoes, whatever it is. That was her responsibility. She didn't pay for the horse. And if she came to her daddy and said, could you help me pay for these expenses? Well, she's 18 years old.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sue her.
Okay, Your Honor.
Within 5 days, on 24 hours notice, the plaintiff is picking up the yearling. Now, there is sort of a ridiculous counterclaim. You want $3,000 for the return of the baby. You really don't want that. You know, there's no legal basis for you to have that. You didn't pay for it.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you were supposed to pay for it. Okay, you have my order. The order is that within 5 days you pick up the yearling. Your counterclaim is dismissed. You want the return of the baby. You didn't pay for the baby. The baby stays where it is. Thank you very much. We're done.
This court is adjourned.
He had messaged me saying the little filly needs to go to the vet. My horse rolled her, got jealous, attacked and rolled her.
She managed to roll it because they were sitting there playing around.
I think that she loves her animals very much. I just think she's a little bit underinformed on some of the basics with introducing new horses and handling some emergency medical care.
Probably take more caution and separate them a little bit more.
I didn't get the feeling, Sarah, that that young girl was devastated by the decision. I don't know why.
Yeah, I feel like you made it pretty cut and dry. We didn't get into any of the nitty gritty about how the horse came versus how it left. It was a very simple contractual. You owed the money, you didn't pay, the horse goes back, period. And so I think maybe that's what removed the emotion
from it.
Out of it. It's just she had no excuse. She knew she didn't pay for it, but I think it was pretty cut and dry at the end of the day. You bought a horse, but didn't buy it.
Right,
So
didn't pay for it.
Yeah.
Pack is suing her hairstylist, Yoon Lim, and the owner of the salon, Soon Lee, for an assault.
Come to order.
Be seated, please.
Hello, Judge. Case number 1141, Pack versus Lim and Lee.
Thank you. Ms. Pack, it is your claim the defendant, Miss Lim, assaulted you
Yes.
in a beauty salon. You are the owner of the store?
본인께서 주인 되십니까?
Yes.
Yes.
And you, sir, what is your last name?
My last name is Kim, K-I-M.
Mr. Kim, interpreter.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Then stand in the middle of them, would you? Thank you. Now, how long has Miss Lim been working for you, sir?
미스 림이 지금 얼마 정도 기간이 됐어요?
1년 한 10개월 정도 됐어요.
For approximately 1 year and 10 months.
Miss Pack, you client of Miss Lim's before.
Yes.
For how long?
3 months or so.
What kind of work does she do for you?
A hairstylist.
That Miss Lim assaulted you.
Yes.
Caused you serious physical injury. Miss Lim says that it was you who assaulted her. Counterclaiming. Each one of you is requesting that this court award $10,000 for that assault. When did this alleged assault take place?
On Friday evening.
Of this year?
Yes.
You had an appointment with Miss Lim?
Yes, Your Honor.
What time?
4:45.
You arrived at the location of this salon. You had been
Several times.
Several times. Arrived at 4:45. You had never had any trouble with Miss Lim before.
Correct.
Now I'd like you to tell me exactly what happened when you arrived.
It was actually about 4:50 to be
So you
exact.
arrived a little late.
Yes, I was 5 minutes late. However, look at the salon. It's clear. Look inside the salon. And she was actually working on a client already at the time. So, I'm very flexible just because of...
Don't tell me how flexible you are to any tributaries. You got there 5 minutes late.
Yes.
You didn't go in.
I didn't go in.
You went downstairs.
Yes.
That's what you said. Downstairs.
To get cough drops from the...
So you went to a store and you got some cough drops or whatever else you bought there.
Cough drops.
And you had to pay for. How much time did that take?
1 to 2 minutes.
No. Never 1 to 2 minutes.
They close at 4:55.
No place closes 4:55, Miss Pat. 55 is a peculiar time.
They close...
Old. Older by the minute. I never knew a store that closed at 4:55. That's a possibility. So you got to your appointment late. You didn't check in with the defendant. You went downstairs. You got some cough drops. What time did you get upstairs? How did you know it was 4:53?
Because the pharmacy, they told me they have to close.
Don't tell me what the pharmacy told you.
But it is a fact.
So far, I'm not following your story like I believe it. I'm getting a twitch. So you came late to your appointment. That's the bottom line. You came late to your appointment.
Yes.
Was the defendant waiting for you?
No.
What was she doing?
She was still working on the client.
Okay. Miss Lim came in. Were you working on another client?
자기 도착했을 때 본인께서 다른 손님의 머리를 하고 있었습니까?
No.
No.
What were you doing?
I was eating at the table.
Not true.
Approximately what time did Miss Pack come in for her 4:45 appointment?
45분 예약 시간에 몇 시에 이분이 들어왔어요?
I remember that she came 5 after 5.
Okay. And you were eating?
보니까요.
Yes.
So you came into the shop around 5 o'clock?
No.
Yes.
Yeah. You came into the shop around 5 o'clock. Whether it was 4:53, 5 to 5, 5 o'clock, she said 5 after 5. I'm telling you, you got it. For my purposes, you got there at 5 o'clock. Go ahead.
I was there at 4:53 in heaven, watching down on me.
Just tell me what happened.
I walked in there. She was still working on the client, but because,
don't tell me why. You patiently waited and?
She was still working on the client.
And?
And then after she was done with the client, she ordered that I wait at the salon 30 minutes while she go picks up her son.
Tell me what she said to you.
She said, I have to go pick up my sister here, 30 minutes, is the way that she spoke to me.
Okay. And what happened next?
I said, but my appointment was at 4:45. And, well, I thought you'd flake.
Okay,
Those
and
were her words.
okay, I thought you flaked. And then what happened?
And then I was like, I never flaked. I was like, yes, you did. So it was her word against my word.
So just a second. I never flaked on you. Yes, you did. Back and forth. I flaked. I didn't flake. Happened.
Then she went to the table and started eating cup ramen noodles when she told me I had to wait for her to go pick up her son.
So now, just a second. So now, table.
Yes.
And sat
Started
down
eating.
and started eating noodles.
Yes.
So did you walk over to the table?
No.
So you stayed where?
Right in the middle.
Okay, so you're in the middle of the salon, but she left and went to sit at the table to eat her noodles.
Which was like approximately from like here to like at the end of this.
15 feet. Okay, so she's 10 or 15 feet away from you. What happens next? And let's get to this.
Her hairstylist, Yoon Lim, assaulted her in the salon. Yoon is countersuing, claiming Michelle attacked her first.
What happens next? Get to this.
The salon owner, Mr. Lee, he said, oh, she's been so hungry because she was busy all day long.
So he said to you?
Yes.
And from you was Mr. Lee?
He was right behind her.
Was he sitting or standing?
Standing.
Michelle Pak claims her hairstylist, Yoon Lim, assaulted her in the... Yoon is countersuing, claiming Michelle attacked her first.
What happens next? And let's get to this.
The salon owner, Mr. Lee, oh, she's been so hungry because she was busy all day long.
So he said to you?
Yes.
And how far away from you was Mr. Lee? Was he sitting or standing?
Standing.
And what happened next?
And then I said, how could you do this to me? I said, I set up an appointment and I was patient enough. The fact that you actually even were working on another client and, I didn't even complain. And first of all, you want me to like wait for you. And then now you're eating? This is so inappropriate.
I was you were, and you were 15 feet away from where she was sitting eating her noodles. What happened next?
She just ran towards me, bang, she got on top of me, and she was just,
okay, so she got up from the table.
Yes.
She came over to you and started to assault you.
Yes.
No.
So I was lying on
and you fell on your back.
Yeah, she punched me down and she was beating me up.
She was punching you?
She was sitting on me, like beating me up.
Okay, and?
Get myself up because I was on the floor and like she had, the salon aprons. Like I was trying to like hold on to it to get myself.
You were pulling on her apron to get yourself up.
Yeah, because she wouldn't get off.
So she was on top of you. You're pulling on her apron to pull yourself up. You're on the ground, and if you're pulling her apron, you're pulling her towards you.
No, like I'm trying to get myself up because she's so heavy. She wouldn't get off of me. I don't know what.
Going. Keep going.
So I was pulling on the apron to get myself up because she wouldn't get off of me. She was hitting on me, and I was lying down like this, and she, like with my legs like bent like this. She was sitting on me, like beating me up like this from my face all the way to my ribs, everywhere, all over my pictures to prove it. And I'm still in pain.
And then what happened?
And then I was able to finally get up, to call the police, because that's what I'm going to tell me. I'm calling the police. As soon as I tried to call the police, they said 911. I said yes, and I told them what happened, and they said, where's the location? And they said, and I said, it's the second floor, and I don't know the suite number. And they said, we need the suite number. So I said, okay. And I was like running, and then I ran like from here to here. I ran and I was trying to pull, and then he actually ran out to the door so that I couldn't give him the suite number. And like trying to like look like this, and then he actually like pulled the door so I couldn't see the suite number. He pulled it towards it from the outside. He locked me inside
Just a second.
the salon.
So what you're telling me is he ran past you.
Yes.
He ran past you.
He ran. He told her, you call 911 too.
That's okay. He got out before you and locked you into the salon.
After he ordered her to call 911.
Her to call 911.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And the police came.
Yes, ma'am.
Now I'd like your version of what happened.
본인께서 이제 설명해 주세요. 영어로.
She came in, according to you, 5:05. You were eating noodles.
본인은 라면을 먹고 있었어요. 그 다음에 이제 어떻게 됐어요?
미셸, 당신 늦게 왔습니다.
I said to Michelle, you came late.
그래서 나는 5시 반 전에는 아기를 픽업해야 되니까 자요 라고
And
얘기했어요.
I asked her to briefly wait because I have to go and pick up my child before 5:30.
Okay.
그리고 저희 아이 프리스쿨은 왔다 갔다 10분, 8분 거리에 이미 있습니다.
Where my child is at, the preschool, to and from, it takes altogether 10 minutes.
Okay, so you said you have to wait. Go ahead. What happened next?
기다려야 된다고 이제 말씀하셨거든요.
나는
이제 어떻게 됐어요?
서비스를 받기 싫으면 너무 늦게 왔고 서비스를 받기 싫으면 가도 된다고 했더니
I said, since you arrived late and because it's going to be late, so if that's too late, you don't have to receive my service today.
And what happened next?
그 다음에 어떻게 됐어요?
그리고 저는 저를 방어하기 위해 밀었습니다.
So in order for me, I then pushed her back.
And?
미셸 팍은 높은 신발을 신어서 뒤로 넘어졌고
Michelle Park was wearing high heels, fell backward.
미셸 팍은 높은
Don't speak!
말하지 마세요.
이렇게 일어나서
And
뭐 하는 건지 지금
And I was like swaggering like this, and then I got up and I said,
Just a second. Did she fall down and you fell with her?
본인이 넘어지고 본인도 같이 넘어졌어요? 본인도 같이 넘어졌습니까?
Let the record reflect that the witness is suggesting that she fell over on when she pushed her when the plaintiff was holding on to her rope.
옆으로 넘어졌습니다.
I fell to my side.
It fell to his side.
네.
네, 옆으로 넘어졌는데 이미 그거는 제가
Then what
받았습니다.
happened?
그 다음에 어떻게 됐어요?
그리고 미셸 팍이 소리 지르고
And then Michelle Park started to yell,
Oh my God, she hit me!
Oh my God, she hit me.
And then?
Screaming.
And screaming.
And then what happened?
그 다음에 어떻게 됐어요?
And then she called to 911.
And then she called.
At any time did you hit her?
자, 어느 때를 막론하고 본인께서 이분을 때린 적이 있어요?
아니요.
No.
Did she hit you?
자, 이 여자분이 본인을 와서
아니요.
No.
No. So you had no marks
그러니까
on you from her.
이 여자로부터 본인께서 몸에 어떤 자국 없다 이거죠?
Yes or no?
저
You had no marks.
I have no marks.
저 따귀를 때렸어요.
But then I was slapped after.
Was slapped.
자, 언제 따귀를 맞았는지를 말씀해 주세요.
제가 둘이 넘어지고 나서 일어섰고 저 여자는 911 전화했고 저는 문 앞에 있었을 때 따귀를 때렸어요.
We both fell down. She backward, me forward to my side. And then once I got up, she was already calling 911. When I approached the front door area, that's the time when she slapped my face.
Okay.
Michelle Park is accused Yoon Lim of assaulting her in the salon. Yoon says she was the one who was assaulted.
Now, who's going to show me a police report?
있어요? 들어올리세요.
Okay. The officers observed on Miss Pack's right middle finger, and they said they took a photograph of that. Right here. This was the photograph that your injury. This is what the officer said. He said he observed a small cut right here. That's what he observed. Both parties, when the officers responded, did not request any treatment, any transport to any hospital. You both told stories. The story. Did you go to the hospital?
No, but I asked.
Just a second. Did you go to the hospital is my question.
I went to my doctor.
Okay. I have a doctor's record of your visit. But I want you to notice, Miss Pack, that at no time during this police incident did you report any injury other than the cut to your finger. At no point do you tell any respondent to the scene that you were repeatedly, as you told me, punched in the face, punched in the body. At no point arrived do you tell them that. What you told them is, and the police said we took a photograph of it, that you had on one of your fingers. I'm just telling you that that's what it says.
Because I was wearing yoga pants and I still have mark on my
knee. Excuse me. It also has a photograph of what looks like you.
Yes.
And the police took this?
Yes.
As soon as they arrived?
Yes.
And what of? Is that an arm or a leg? I can't tell what that's a picture of.
Excuse me.
Show it to her. And give me those.
Okay. That's my knee. I'm still having problems with.
This happened on July 30th. Reason for the appointment on August 2nd. Patient was assaulted on Saturday and having other problems. And there's a follow-up on August 24th appointment. Look, always get down to it. This is on August 24th. What's the name of the lawyer?
Robert.
And on what date did you contact Robert?
On July 30th.
How do you know him?
I've known him for 15 years.
So you called a friend of yours, and he told you to get in touch with the doctor.
Well, I made my own decision to
You called him.
doctor.
Okay. No, patient has already been in conversation. It seems more psychological and mental trauma than physical. And it goes into a lot of other things that I don't think I have to go into now at this point. Psychological things rather than physical things that your doctor is referring to. Okay. Do you have any other medical reports?
The x-ray because
just a second. You went for an x-ray on September 21st. X-ray, the right knee.
Yes. And then my doctor.
Don't tell me what you spoke to your doctor about. You had an x-ray months later that showed nothing.
I called to make the appointment x-ray.
All right. We're done here.
When I was trying.
I'm done.
그쪽은 다 끝났습니다.
Did you seek any medical treatment as a result of being slapped?
맞아가지고 병원 가서 의료 치료 받으신 거 있어요?
아니요.
No.
And other than these notes that you gave me from your doctor who was treating you for a variety of problems, do you have any other medical records for me to look at?
Yes.
What other medical records do you have me to look at?
I have photos which are
Not records. I saw the police report. I saw the doctor's notes. Now I want to see medical records. If you have none, I'm ready to rule.
Just the with my doctor 2 days ago.
Very good.
For MRI.
Your claim is dismissed. Your counterclaim is dismissed. We're finished here. Thank you very much.
Court is adjourned.
So traumatic. I've never even seen this. I mean.
전 더 이상 저 여자가 저한테 협박 안 하고 행사를 안 했으면 좋겠고요.
I wish that the lady no longer have those kind of behaviors and aggress anyone.
I grew up in Georgia. The people with manners.
저는 저 여자 때문에 체포를 당하고.
Because of her, I was once arrested.
Never in my life had a hairstylist attack me.
전 너무 억울했어요.
So I was being accused of this.
Aside the fact that they tag teamed on me, what I'm upset about is the fact that they lied to the police.
서로 리포트해서 풀어졌고요.
The police officer said that we can, on our own individually, file a report against each other.
Never ever go again, and everyone never to go to here.
너무 감사합니다.
I'd like to thank this court for this.
You remember criminal and they have physical injury. And it can't be just a little cut. You don't know where that came from. Certainly from what the plaintiff was describing, she would have been battered and bruised.
Yes, God.
Because on the law, in order to establish an assault is an unlawful touching that causes physical.
Serious bodily.